probably.
Yeah, it was in the wash. Yeah, I put it in the wash. But yeah.
I should have been hand washed or something. I don't know.
And then my son, he got sick earlier. That sucked. They had their little Valentine's Day party, and I just chalked it up to him because I asked him, like, what did you eat at school today? Nothing but fucking junk and goodies and treats. And like, yeah, too much sugar. So I've just been like, I don't know, since I got home, my night has been kind of hijacked by like cleaning up vomit. Sucks.
Oh, it's better than cat heads on your back.
Oh yeah, that sucks too.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck about it.
Still got my fucking comforter in the dryer right now.
Do you have like a carpet cleaner?
Yeah, I mean, I took care of it. There really wasn't much that got onto the mattress or anything, and it has like...
I can clean them with my pussy.
Herbert can go, and then Steve, or,
I can wait.
okay.
Donna, his daughter, I'm starting to think that's his stepdaughter. Same here. That's actually
crazy. You know, Dula, you might be onto something. You just might be onto some shit. 'Cause that, man, I don't know. But it's just fucked up because it's like when I was listening to the room, it was like they was trying to flip it on Tommy and make it seem like, you know, oh, Tommy Ben had this plan. You know, he was just waiting. You know,
I never had that plan, but I did see a loser follow me. I did see that.
But that just speaks to Tommy though. Like she saw a bitch ass nigga trying to follow her way back when and denied that nigga access. She seen a fuck nigga from way far away, and still didn't let that nigga in. Nigga feelings hurt. Fuck niggas.
What do I gain from it? I don't gain anything. But I did notice a loser follow me. Luckily enough, I screenshotted that. And then the loser followed me again. And then I screenshotted that again, too. Because what's the point? Just say you love it over here, babes. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just tell the truth, man. You know, you could have avoided all this. You're like, oh yeah, I did follow you, but you know, it is what it is. You're not gonna expose me. Shit, I'm sent on business. Shit, I did follow you. So what?
She gotta put that drunk bitch back on his leash. Chain him up like the dog he's supposed to be.
Good.
He needs to be crate chained, matter of fact. Like as a boyfriend, you need to be crate trained.
Well, you know what? Dula said he might have been drunk every time he added you. So maybe that's why he don't remember. Do you think that could be something?
No, he was sober. He had to have been. There ain't no fucking way you do it 3 times like that. Get out of here. He do be drinking a lot, though.
Oh, you know, we're just examining, you know, every single option. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
He can come in here and speak. Like, his pussy ass didn't even last a second. He ran out. What the fuck?
Yeah, he said if he gets interrupted, he's leaving, and nobody interrupted him.
Nobody interrupted you.
He just left.
Listen, but this ain't gonna be one mic on you, bitch. This is not that kind of space.
I mean, you could pay for that one mic.
You could.
You know, but it's just not gonna be
I'm not gonna touch I won't touch your profile. I won't goo you. I won't do any of that. I know better.
You don't need to do that. You stood in the pain. I think niggas might have forgot. Maybe I need to run some clips back and you fucking niggas up.
Oof. Yeah, I don't think you... Listen, I've been nice. I actually swore... But, Craig, you know, I swore off of, like, crashing out and banging, right? Like, I swore off of it, right? Because I'm in a peaceful place in my life. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a peaceful bitch. But I don't think they remember the shit that I used to do to people. I don't think they recall. Like, when I crash out, the numbers jump to 1,000. Every time.
Yeah, I was going through my archive because I'm gonna run a classic room later on. I was going through my archive and I was like, damn, you got some heat. You had some backups, man. I was like, yo.
There's some iconic moments I had. You know, I love Laid Down, me versus Lee, and then me versus the trenches, me versus me versus everyone, me versus the whole app. Y'all lucky. If I get back on my shit, it's really fun to be rough. Because I don't shut the fuck up either. I don't know, Craig, do you still have an old clip of me? Oof.
Yeah, I do. Let me load it up. Saint, what you think about what's going on, man?
This is safe space, trust us. No one will be shot. No one gets muted, no one gets kicked over here. This is a safe space. And you ain't even gotta say much either. Out of respect, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. His scary ass ran out the room anyways. His scary ass ran out the room anyways. Don't worry, he could not handle it.
Yeah, everybody knows, like, I run a very fair space. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my shit is fair. You know, I don't get involved. I don't do none of that. I let everybody speak. You know. Let me pull some shit up. Let me see.
Should do a Tommy history lesson. How I used to handle people back in the day. Because I could very much go back to really being, like, if I'm annoying, cool. I could really be that bitch once more. No fucking problem. I play nice now. Don't test me. Craig's loading up a clip. We're gonna listen to some content. Y'all wanna hear a real proper crash out? I'll show you one. I'll show you how to do it. I'll teach you guys how to bang on people properly.
Man, you know what's so crazy? I found a bunch of, like, Nurse Nikki content.
Rest in peace.
I know.
Rest in
I found
peace.
some funny ass rooms of her. Like, I had that one room of her packing up whack. Yo, I was laughing so hard, and I was listening to that shit the other day. That shit was funny as fuck.
You know,
I gotta run some of those. I gotta run some of that shit back, yo. That shit was hilarious as fuck, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Nurse Nikki definitely was a menace, but it's always not too much on Nurse Nikki.
Yeah, for real.
We're gonna protect her at all costs. You know, rest in peace to her. You know. But at least I will say that she was working really hard on Clubhouse. Not on Clubhouse, but she was working hard on the back end to become a nurse. And she actually completed her, like, dreams. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because that's all she's ever wanted to do.
Right. At least you got to accomplish one of your dreams, man. Or you got to accomplish your dream. For real. Shit, man, you can never be mad at that. You know, it is unfortunate what happened, but you know, I can't be mad at that. Okay, here we go. So I got the you versus Lay clip.
Oh, that was a devious rip.
And this took place in Keep Banging. So, you know, and I didn't get in the middle of that. And this was like, you know, because I think she like went up against Lay like 2-3 times in that room. And it was crazy. But here y'all go. Here's a little reminder of what Tommy used to do.
You're funny as fucking shit, Tommy. Not too much shit, nothing, but this fucking app. Get up the
What the fuck? There's a room called Edify or Pregnify, extortion or abortion.
Oh boy. Girl, we gotta hold it. Mama, did you go to sleep? Yeah, whatever. Fuck him. Bad, are you there? Yeah. Oh, but I must be doing something. J-Lo? Oh, J-Lo, I know you can't speak. You can just put a thumbs up. Do we do thumbs up here? You know, Danny has an amazing sleep schedule. I wish I had a sleep schedule like hers.
Yeah, she does have a good sleep schedule. I think it's because she smokes so much pot. She's able to go to bed at a good time.
Okay, just turn off.
What do I mean by that, right? So folly is set in great dignity. Like,
Yeah, like foolishness is set in great dignity. Like you're proud.
and you know, that is put on a pedestal. But and a lot of people that push that filth, you know, they get all of this money and they're rich, right? As far as monetary wise, but they sit in a low place. Like this is just, and so that's a gem right there. That's why I rock with Solomon. Like the long way. I really is wisdom.
Wealth is not mammon, and vice versa. And I had to learn that the hard way. But yeah, it's not the same. And I'd rather be blessed than have any monetary value. That's a wise estimate.
It's about spiritual wealth. That's,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the wealth. That's how I look at it. Spiritual wealth.
About spiritual wealth and increasing your inheritance, like Jabez said or preached, increasing. Oh my goodness. Increasing your inheritance, growing what you have, your wisdom, your finances, your love, everything. In the name of Jesus, and loving your neighbor, and denying yourself, and walking righteously and righteously, not lying or hurting people. And that's it, man. And just, and if you can, like, if your soul, just love with your soul, like, believe Jesus is Son of God and died and rose, that's it. And then you're good, man. Just ask us for forgiveness. Salvation is so easy. Some people make it so difficult.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm maybe go.
Have a blessed night.
I'm gonna go probably correct some Israelites pushing their false doctrine on the app. You know, I try to.
Ooh, nice. What room is it called?
Oh well, it's probably Son of Mary's room right now. I forgot what it's called.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's the name.
Sometimes I'll go over to biblical smoke, but they don't like to see me coming. They like to.
Nice. I'm not versed enough to really go toe to toe with the chants, with the moguls.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when it's small rooms like this and it's more focused, I'm good with theological discussion.
So I give you a hint. The reason why they're so skilled and crafty. How can I do that by asking you questions? Stop interrupting people when they're trying to fucking finish a sentence because they lose what the fuck they're saying, dude. Stop doing that. All right? For real. It's hard to fucking track what I'm trying to fuck. Like it's not. You're mischaracterizing what I'm saying. You're trying to fucking go off with what I'm saying. Like that's bullshit, bro. First of all, it was a protest. People were down there protesting. Yes. Some people were intending on causing trouble. I will admit that. I already did that because I talked to some people who were supporting it or wanted to go down there and protest with guns, you know what I mean, to kind of show their Second Amendment presence. Some people were even going to go further. They were fucking talking about, causing a riot down there. And I was like, when I heard about that, I was like, guys, I don't think that's a good idea. And so I talked to this people in stereo about it on my conservative room, and a bunch of people were pissed off of me, acting like I was unpatriotic. But I said, dude, there's some sort of trap being set for anybody down there. I mean, they're gonna make us look bad because there's a bunch of people down there who are protesting or whatever. They have a group of us, and no matter what, we're not gonna look good here. And it could even go further than that, where they set some sort of trap for us. Well, sure enough, on video, you see Capitol Police that are letting these people in past the barriers that were supposed to be protecting the White House from these protests that could potentially turn violent.
Would you go past the barriers if you were there?
No, I wouldn't have. So all of a sudden, these people, but see, here's the thing, man, is once, you let a bunch of people in and they could be individual, all of a sudden it becomes frenzied. And people that are in a group who are not thinking individually can become very stupid. And all of a sudden it turns into a riot. And the people that are intending on causing trouble, all it takes for them to start breaking shit and moving in, and then it becomes a frenzy and it riles some people up. There's a bunch of people who would test for that. That I had no intention on coming down there and causing problems. It's just once the gates were open, I started fucking going in there. Pretty soon we're in the fucking White House.
Can I ask you a hard question?
I want to ask a question.
Here's a question. You think if this happened, if that same thing happened on January 6th, happened in 1868, do you understand that the Capitol Police would have opened fire on those people for storming the Capitol? Or at any point during that time? Because the Capitol is the capital of the fucking United States. Storming the Capitol is treason. Only because we're in this soft age where everybody's like protests, which are protected. But as soon as you broke down those barriers, as soon as you encroached past your protest agreed upon position, they should have been shot. And every time in American history before this, they have been shot. They have been shot and killed because the government of the United States is supposed to defend against treason. Physically. Right? Is that a First Amendment right to storm the Capitol?
You guys are done. I would like to ask Joe a question.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah, Joe, my question to you is, what do you call the Don Lemon invading of a church?
I'll tell you honestly, I don't know enough about that. I read a little bit, but
From what you know, was it a protest?
I really don't know. I think it was. If I were to call it, I would call it distasteful and disruptive.
Oh, okay, cool.
He wasn't part of the protest. He was literally just doing journalism.
So I'm not talking about.
No, but the whole protest in itself at a church is difficult. I honestly don't know.
I don't know what Dottie's doing right now, but I'm asking about the actual protest, their actions. Do you think that was protesting?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. All right. Because it's protesting until you violate somebody else's right.
Nope. That's not what I said. It is protesting until you violate laws of the nation, which is treason.
Wait, hold on.
Storming the Capitol is
We were
treason.
talking about Simone.
Protesting a church is not a law.
Wait,
There's
wait,
no
hold on.
law. What law did they violate?
Yes, so this is
There is a
What law did they
against
violate?
that.
just hold on real quick, Joe. So there's two federal statutes, right? It's called the FACE Act, and then it's called like the other one, I think 247. Okay. So the violation is the right, and it's crazy, right? Because both of them are claiming their First Amendment right. One part of the First Amendment says you have the right to like assemble in protest. Another part of the same amendment says you have a right to practice like your religion. And in these statutes, it adds context to what that actually means. Your right to protest or to like assemble can't violate somebody else's right to practice their religion. Okay? So like I put you in this type of a questioning model because it's basically parallel to like what you were saying about like January 6th with like a governmental building. So they're protesting, right? And then there's certain points of the building that are being breached, but then the police immediately like set a parameter to where if you cross this line, now lethal force is justified. And this is like where they get to the Bird and the Ashley Babbitt case, okay? You wanted to extend that line. You said, nope, you should actually expand that line all the way out to the front. And they should have been able to use lethal, like their lethal option at the front. But they already have their line drawn, like where Ashley Babbitt was shot dead, the only person that died that day, right? So I was just wondering if this is what you would call a consistency check or a stress test. If another situation is where people's rights are being violated, do you stand with those that are being violated? That's why I asked the question.
So you said like 17 things and then asked us a very, very strict question. Do you think that when Ashley Babbitt was shot, that was a good place to establish that parameter for treason? Do you think so, yes or no?
No.
You don't?
Well, the reason why is because like there's this other like if you look at all the other police officers, nobody's like taking that position. Nobody's like grabbing their pistols.
There were a bunch of police officers with their guns aimed at them when they were breaking through the glass, and one officer shot. Do you think every other officer was just sitting there with their hands in their pockets?
If you look at the footage with Ashley Babbitt specifically, right, the only person that armed themselves.
Do you know what a defensive perimeter is?
Yeah, so like there's a certain parameter. Well, this is so funny because it goes back to Minnesota, right? Yeah, there's a secured parameter that's set. There's a body, which is.
Remember, you're in the nation's capital.
So we're talking about if there's 9 people being the wall, right, and only one person grabs their gun, you would ask the question, why didn't the other 8 grab their gun, right? Why didn't they perceive the same imminent threat?
So you think when Babbitt was trying to break glass?
No, she was hopping through a window. She wasn't trying to break glass.
They were breaking the glass, and multiple police officers had their guns up. And she tried to go through the glass. Multiple police officers asked her to stop, and she got shot. And you want to equate this to people disrupting a church service? That's your equation?
Yeah, so what I'm pointing out is like, when people's rights are being violated, we should all stand in solidarity to say that's a bad thing. Okay?
No. You have, in America, you have rights, right? And other people's rights can infringe on your rights.
No.
Until it violates one of your constitutional rights. You think you can just have to an extent, but like let's say you just try to have I'll give you an example. You try to have a pop-up church service at somebody else's paid for event. It's your right to have that church service, but you're going to get a lot of friction and imposement. Just because you have a church doesn't mean you have the right to have an uninfringed service.
Oh no, we absolutely, bro. This is the statute that we're referencing right now. If it's called the FACE Act.
Then why is there no lawsuit?
No, there's 2, bro. There's like 15 people being criminally charged right now federally, right, with 2 different counts. One, violating the rights of religious people, right? And then the second one,
They're all
violating.
dismissed.
No, hold on. Violating. Listen.
Churches are public, right?
No.
What's the difference between Don Lemon being in a church and a homeless person who's schizophrenic just yelling?
All right, hold on. So
It's optics and it's politics.
I don't know what the problem is here, right? Like, you guys are trying to defend Don Lemon, and we're not even having a discussion about him. What I'm saying is, there's two charges that are on the table with not just Don Lemon, with other people as well, right? One of them is violating somebody's right, constitutional right, to like practice their religion. Okay. The other one is actually interfering or obstructing the worshiping part of it. So like, you're in a worshiping like building or whatnot, you're in a service and somebody runs in there and interrupts it, it's quote unquote the equivalent to the secularist abortion thing, right?
No, it is not, bro.
No, it's the actual law.
They still have the freedom to
All right,
hold
so you're not
it.
gonna look this up?
No, are you infringing on their freedom to have their religion? If a naked, so you're saying,
One
no,
is
you're
the
saying,
religion practice,
you're
and then the other
essentially
one
saying,
is the practicing.
wait, you're essentially saying a naked streaker runs through a service. That guy should be arrested for violating someone else's First Amendment right to religion because they just streaked through a service.
Yeah, you gotta look at the.
Are you serious?
Well, we can bet $20.
You're saying you can't, no free man in America, or free woman, or free child, no one can interrupt a church service without committing a crime. Is that what you're saying? No one can interrupt. What about baptisms when the baby cries?
I think you're derailing.
Is that what you're saying? Is that no one can interrupt a church service without breaking the law?
Alright, so now Joe's derailing.
No, I'm asking you a straight up question. Can you interrupt it? You just said they interrupt. What is the worst thing that happened in your situation? They interrupted a church service. They didn't prevent anybody from preaching. They didn't prevent anybody from having their service. They just interrupted a service, and you're saying that's illegal.
Joe,
Are you saying that's illegal?
yes. So if I'm standing at the pulpit,
There it is.
Right.
If you interrupt, if anybody interrupts a church service, if a fly interrupts a church service, it's illegal.
if I'm standing at the pulpit, the preacher, right, and I'm going to speak, and a mob of people run into my service, and everybody runs out, and I can't speak, the terminology in the statute is obstruction, interfering, or impeding. Those are the three words that are used to describe the act of stopping me from speaking. I can't preach my sermon, Joe.
No,
So
you
when
need
you bring
intent,
up a-
brother. You need intent.
You intended in moving into my church with a group of people.
Try to. Let's see how this plays out because I'm going to tell you
All
it's
right,
not
all right,
going to
Joe,
be a
Joe,
conviction.
Joe, hold on.
I'll bet you on that.
All right, good. So let's good. I
There's
guarantee
going to be no convictions
all right,
on this
here.
Don Lemon situation.
$100, right? So remember, you said no conviction.
$5.
Okay? Come on, bro. You talk a lot, but I'm ready to put money on the line, right? I'll bet you.
$100?
Or how about this?
I'm not assaulting.
I'll bet you $20, okay? That out of all of the indictments, there are going to be convictions here. I mean, this just shows the letter of the law. And the crazy part is, Joe Biden actually charged people with the same statute for protesting in front of an abortion clinic, for Christians stopping people or like giving messages to people in front of an abortion clinic, impeding, obstructing, or disrupting their right to receive medical care. Yo,
I concede.
$20. Joe, are we betting $20 or no?
No, I conceived it. It is illegal to intentionally disturb a church service. I'm learning.
Oh, you look, oh, you do money on
I'm learning.
Oh, this guy. And then you look, oh.
I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm gonna shut my goddamn mouth now.
Yeah, you better be careful there, Joe.
How many times does that happen on Clubhouse, though, Mount? Be real.
The protesters
Oh,
will
man,
get
I'm
in
just saying,
trouble.
man, Samoa fucking
I was wrong.
ain't
I
fucking
was
around
wrong.
when he makes a claim. He brings his
I
facts.
know. I paid him $100.
I know the protesters will get in trouble, but I don't think Don Lemons will, because he was just a journalist, just documenting what happened. So, I'll stand by that.
Yeah, Don Lemon's just got bad timing.
Well, he's not getting in trouble. He was just a journalist, you know?
I did feel bad for that dude when he was there at that time. But no, it is true. I'm learning these things. It is illegal to intentionally interrupt or disturb a church
Prayer
service.
service. Yes, absolutely.
I'm a fucking
Pretty
idiot.
well. No, it's all right. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that. They think free speech is just endless, but that's one of the things where you can get your ass in a lot of trouble if you interrupt worship like that and get a lot of fucking trouble. So it's a crime.
Bro, the idea that there's now a protester that I bet I'm gonna look it up right now, but testified or made a statement, something to the effect of coordinating with Don Lemon for this thing to actually happen, instead of Don Lemon's. Huh?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Oh, here, I'll actually put the link there. So one of those protesters came back and said that Don Lemon, he has text messages and coordinating with Don Lemon where the meeting spots were and where they were going to do, and what they were going to do. Don Lemon's defense is, we got a tip that there was something that was going to go on, but we didn't really know what was going on, so we were just following the crowd. We were just there reporting. But if this person that's a part of the protest in their affidavit under, I guess the potential perjury or whatever, right? If they turn witness and show text messages of this guy saying, "Hey, I'll meet you here to do this thing," oh, bro, it's a wrap.
It's like, oh, there's a protest happening. If you want to document it, there's nothing wrong with that. But if he, so that's how it looks like to me.
No,
you just get tips to know where to go. But if they're like, oh, bro, let's start a protest so we can give you views on YouTube, then that's starting something. And I don't think that's good.
No, the difference is if somebody does something like this. Hey, we're going to meet at the Starbucks. Once we get there, we're going to walk over to this specific church, and we're going to go into the church. At that very moment, he has an ethical duty to be like, what? Oh, no, that's illegal. I can't do that. What the hell you got? Right? He has an ethical duty.
He already knows a protest is happening. He didn't orchestrate it. And he didn't go there to protest. He went there to go videotape it for his YouTube.
All right.
He's a journalist.
Dottie, how do you think this one works out? Somebody says, "Hey, Dottie, let's meet at Starbucks.
Hmm?
We're gonna go over here to this church, and I'm gonna shoot this guy." You said, "Okay, cool. I'm just gonna record it because I'm a journalist."
Okay, was the guy the one that started the protest?
Yeah.
The organizer of the protest?
Yeah. Hold on. What happened to your he's just gonna recover, or he's just gonna report?
Okay, well maybe it was already organized. That doesn't mean he organized it with him.
No, it's if they share something about what they're going to do with Don Lemon or any ethical journalist at the very moment, as soon as they mention something that is potentially illegal, you immediately got to get away.
So you're saying that he should have, if that was the case, then he should have videotaped outside the church, is what you're saying?
He should have never went in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said, outside the church.
Or
Definitely. Yeah.
got away.
So, basically, knowing is contributing to the intent.
And not doing nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because he knew what they were going to go do.
But
So he knew what they were going to do. So he's contributing. So he knew what they were going to do. So he contributed to the intent to impede on their freedom of religion.
Wait, can I have a question? Did he know that it was gonna they were gonna start this or isn't that what a tip is when when the organizer was oh come, we want you to videotape this so the word gets spread out, then as a journalist he's allowed to do that, no?
Depends on what information you have.
Yeah, it depends on what they shared, to be honest.
This guy's statement is that Don Lemon was fully aware.
Yeah, because that's what a tip is. He knew that a protest was happening.
No.
That's the whole point of going.
Fully aware that there was a protest going to happen and where it was going to happen at.
Yeah, because the organization person told him, and that's how he was able to get the scoop. That makes sense.
All right, guess you're missing the point again.
They're acting like they started they conspired together to start the protest.
Well, what we were arguing about earlier, Samoa, is that these guys are certain that these guys have the intent that every one of these people, I mean, I can't really, they just, I mean, I guess you would say every one of them, because they said these guys had the intention of going into the Capitol and overthrowing the government or changing the outcome of the election.
Well, we know that's not true.
Of course. I mean,
like a week or later.
There's videos of Capitol Police letting these people, in the gates to be able to get to the Capitol. And, I mean, it started out as a protest and turned into a riot. There was some troublemakers, but it's delusional maybe some dipshits thought they could change the outcome of the election, but, I mean, there's no way to legally do it. Unless you overthrow the whole government.
In order for it to be what Joe just described, they would have to find some sort of orchestrated scheme, and it was pretty quick. The FBI came out and said there was absolutely no type of coordination or organization of this type of a thing. It was just chaos. So by definition, that's no longer what they're saying it is, an insurrection.
So what was it that Donald Trump stated? I forgot what his statement was that triggered it. Didn't he say something that kind of triggered it?
No.
And they tried to hold him for
that was the narrative. Yeah, that was the narrative.
He was saying fight like hell. They tried to take it out of
Yeah, they basically took his speech, and then what Mountain just said, they took his speech and then they took it out of context. But then the timeline got murky because they were like, "Oh, this was the actual thing that was said to start the process." But when you look at the timeline, the process was already started while he was still speaking.
Got it.
I mean, it was stupid. I mean, you had there was so many inferences you would have to make for this to kind of be logically flowy, right? And it was just so stupid.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I say, it was some organized protest, but it divulged into kind of a dipshit riot. But definitely did. A lot of there's videos of the Capitol Police letting these people.
Yeah, see, that changes everything too. If they were invited in, and then they just started acting a fool, they're not you know what I'm saying? That changes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's weird. I mean, the guy was like, hey, I mean, if these guys were such a threat, why the fuck let these people even get close to the White House? But they did, knowing that it was going to cause problems. The Capitol Police.
So an argument could be made that, hey, sometimes pressure can build up in a certain corridor. To relieve the pressure, you would take certain agitators and allow them to move into an area where they're not a threat. Because you know the layout, right? So it's kind of you have the West Wing, the East Wing, and because all of the valuable stuff is in the West Wing, you would allow people to flood the East Wing to get the people in the West Wing out, right? So there's a strategy, and now you can make that argument. The bad part about it is that you can clearly see that if you're looking at the plans of the demonstration, it was supposed to go from where Trump was at, they marched down to the Capitol, and then they have another place after that they go to finish off the march or whatever that is, right? End of that. So, yeah, people got sidetracked, went in there. People were taking pictures. People were just walking through. But this narrative that was created about the insurrection and all these types of things was just loony. They're destroying our democracy. It's whoa. All right, a little thick now, a little thick.
I mean, honestly, let's be realistic. If you're going to try to even overthrow the government, I mean, you're going to have a bunch of people with guns. I mean, there was a few retards with them, but for fuck's sake, and then, I mean, unless you're delusional, Steve was saying, I mean, what are you going to do, wipe shit there to overthrow the government? I mean, what the fuck do you think that they were actually planning there? I think that a lot of these people were surprised that they were even allowed to get that far.
Yeah, because they're dumb. Do you think
Well, of
if you're
course they were.
stupid, you understand that? Do you think if you're dumb and you think you can overthrow the government and they let you in, do you think that your stupidity makes it likely that you'll succeed? You're talking about stupid people and pretending like they had no idea what they were doing.
Well,
They're fucking idiots. They're shitting on Nancy Pelosi's desk. They're trying to hang Mike Pence. And you guys all just keep saying, it's just a protest that ran wild. Just a protest that ran wild.
Joe, but the problem here is that, like, when you look at the actual facts of the matter, like, do you know who Brian Sicknick is? Joe, do you know who Brian Sicknick is?
No.
All right, so Brian Sicknick is the person that they martyred, the quote-unquote police officer that died on January 6th with, like, a fire extinguisher from the New York Times, right? And what they did was they created this big media buzz about this guy, and they had this whole backdrop story, and then they hold on to the autopsy report. This is the guy who died from 2 strokes a day after that was not related to the January 6th thing, right? Where they had, like, his like the medical advisor and all this stuff says, hey, man, the guy was in poor health. These types of things aren't initiated by, like, anything else. They did the autopsy. He had no bruising on his head or anything like that. He had no trauma.
Try to say he was beat.
You know, I think no. There's a guy named Gerald Anderson. When they lynched the 2 black kids in Duluth, there was this guy who was there at the lynching, who said he had no part in it because he was old and had heart decay.
No, but what is it?
Oh no! So he was there, and he was there for the frenzy and for the mob.
No,
And they lynched the 2 black. No, I'm just giving you. It's the same situation you're talking about. I agree.
It's
with you.
absolutely not.
I agree with you. Yeah, like he just was having heart issues and was unathletic.
Oh,
And
so
he
you're
was
trying
just
to
there.
neutralize my point and not even understand.
Yeah, no, he was there for the lynching, but he had no part in it. He had no part in it because of his heart condition.
Do you remember, like, 3 minutes ago when this guy was doing, like, his mea culpa? Oh, let's not down. Let me just be quiet. And now he's right back at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right back at it again.
Yeah.
The narrative that I asked you if you can look
Yeah,
it up.
give me your narrative again.
All right, here it goes. They purposely left.
I don't give a shit.
See, this is the reason why you can't take him serious. He's an uneducated person.
I can't take you serious. You think that everybody who stormed the Capitol was just like mistaken?
Who told you that?
What is your? Do you think?
Joe, you're doing the same thing you just did 4 minutes ago. You're just doing it again. It's like you don't learn your lesson, bro. I'm telling you, with hindsight, we have 2020. At the time, you have an excuse to be like, all right.
Heart condition. I didn't lynch them boys, but heart condition.
Yeah, I can't take you serious, bro. But anyways.
Don't then.
So, dude.
Fucking don't take me serious. I know what I think. If I was at the Capitol and I had a gun in my hand and I was protecting the Capitol as Capitol Police,
have a gun
my
in his
gun
hand,
would be empty. My gun would be empty. That's where I stand. That is where I stand.
Hey, Mountain. So, did you hear that the New York Times, the whole fire extinguisher hitting in the head, they had to retract that story because it was a lie. All right.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
The narrative that he was beat to death, I've heard that before for a while, but the guy, yeah, like you said, had health problems and had a stroke, the next day, died.
2 strokes, right? But I mean, the problem that I had is this, right? They had the autopsy report because he died January 7th, right? The autopsy was done February 1st. For some reason, they purposely held it back until like April or May.
Oh, they wanted
Because
that to go.
Because it blew up the narrative that police there's still people today that are still thinking that people on January 6th police officer died that day.
I know.
There's still
I've heard
people
that
that echo the exact same thing.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, we're like freaking 5 years later.
So it's not treason because no treason officers died? What do you think treason
Hold on,
is?
man. What do you
think treason is?
What do you think is talking about treason, bro?
People who attack the Capitol to avoid a democratic election. What do you think treason means? It means going against your country's laws.
Was anybody charged with treason, Mountain?
Yes.
Not that I know of.
Do you want to bet $100?
No.
Do you think I would ask the question if I don't already know the answer?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, hurry up. Look for insurrection as well. You won't find that either. Like, you guys talk a lot, bro, but you guys don't read too much. But whatever.
Also, I just want to add, I feel like maybe some of the reason why those like people did what they did, like the bad rioters, maybe because Trump like kind of initiated it, so they got like overly confident and breaking the law. I think that's what happened.
Well, that's the narrative, right? But that fell apart when you play the
Right. You think they were like agents that were paid to do that? I don't think so.
Let me ask you this question. If you found out that there were approximately 250 plainclothes FBI agents dressed up like Trump supporters in the crowd, would that surprise you?
What are you talking about?
Would that surprise you?
That those people just broke the law because they're dumb. I don't think the initial protest was that.
Hey, Dottie, so I asked you a direct question. If you were to find out that there was approximately 250 undercover or federal assets in plain clothes dressed up like Trump supporters, would that make you feel a little like, wonder what they're doing? No? You wouldn't ask any questions?
I wouldn't do what they're doing.
What do you think they were doing there, Dottie?
Like Joe said, he just said they shit on the one girl's desk and were like, he just said it.
No.
Single paid agent does that.
Hold on. He didn't say he didn't say like taking a number 2. He said sit, S-I-T.
No, I said shit.
Well,
They shit on Nancy Pelosi's.
That's not what they did.
Yeah, someone took a shit on her desk.
No, they didn't.
Bro.
Really? You want to bet? Bro, like, you just be talking, bro. No, they didn't. They took a picture with their feet on the desk, bro. This guy's a weirdo. Like, where does he get this imagination from? But anyway, Johnny,
I got confused.
It's so funny because my wife's sitting here laughing at me.
All right,
Oh,
Daddy.
I actually believed him.
All right, Daddy.
I think so too. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Daddy, if there was
Don't
200...
disappoint me. You better be right.
Daddy, if there was... No, like, he's wrong. If there was 250 undercover FBI assets in the crowd and went into the Capitol...
Wait, you also said they took a shit on their hands and smudged it all over the...
After Samoa, after you're done,
shit on her desk.
after they're done, after you're done, there's I'd like to ask them a couple of questions too.
Nope, you go and do your thing, bro. I'm done.
Anyways, yeah, as you were saying, I'll answer your question. Yeah, I do think it's possible for it to be paid agents at protests, yes.
I was going to ask you guys, does anybody know, Joe or Dottie, how many people were caught with guns inside of the Capitol?
No.
No, but
I don't know anything anymore.
So there was less than a dozen people caught with firearms, but most of these people were caught with firearms in their car or in their motel room. There was one guy, Christopher Albert, who was charged with one handgun on Capitol grounds, but there was actually 0 cases of rioters carrying firearms inside of the Capitol. So wouldn't you think for that to be an insurrection, they would at least take fucking guns? But 0 people were charged with carrying a firearm inside of the Capitol. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself if you can find one. That'd be amazing. But I've fact checked this, and really, the only people that were ever caught with firearms, they were inside of their motel room or their vehicles, guys. So, like I say, besides shitting on the,
I think you're discounting illegal use of segways.
No. I'm just saying, for it to be an insurrection, for it to be an insurrection, though, be honest, folks. Be honest with yourself. It would at least take a guy with one fucking gun, right? But even that wasn't happening. There was guys with pepper spray and maybe some pocket knives. But for fuck's sake, this was no insurrection or anything. But it was a stupid fucking riot with some people causing some trouble and breaking shit. They were let in by the Capitol Police, at least up until the Capitol. You know, the building, but that's what I'm saying.
Then why did they get crimes for sedition?
Because some people broke in and were inside of the fucking Capitol building, like you said, man. breaking in the window, getting in, busting through, yes, but no, you would require guns.
What was their
least.
intent? What was their intent?
Well, a lot of these people were causing problems. I mean, obviously.
That was their intent?
Well, wouldn't at least require guns? Wouldn't you think for the intent to?
Well, no, maybe they're stupid. They were accusations.
Joe, you have to admit though, to
Accusations of sedition, right? They got convicted. They got convicted.
I think at the time with Mountain, I feel like
That's
with
not a
any
protest.
gathering, there's always going to be trouble.
There's not a protest. If you
But okay, I said
charge
that,
of sedition.
that can be considered a riot, yes. But if they're going to, you cannot say that they're trying to overthrow the government if they don't even
That's
have.
what the charge of
guns, bro.
sedition is.
When you go inside of the
That
building,
is what the
they can
charge
you
of
with that.
sedition is. They
That
got
might be the
charged and
charge.
convicted.
That might be the charge, but
No, you're saying, oh, they were just stupid? They were just mosquitoes?
But I swore, maybe I'm wrong, that at least an hour ago, one of you guys said that these people had guns with them, and I forgot to mention that.
And some of them did.
Well, but in their fucking
Very
vehicle,
small number.
in their vehicle or in their
Doesn't
hotel
matter.
room.
Were they convicted of sedition or
Wouldn't be
not?
honest though, man.
Were
It
they
does
convicted
matter.
of sedition or not?
It does that. Okay, I said yes.
What does
but
sedition mean?
I don't know the exact fucking definition, but I kind of know. I mean, trying to overthrow the government. But don't you think that would require guns? Let's look this up.
No,
Sedition.
it requires intent. Whether you have a stick or a gun or your fucking wallet, you get convicted of sedition.
How do you know
You get convicted of sedition. You are trying to overthrow the government. That's what that charge means.
How do you know their intent?
I don't need to know. They've been convicted.
So the term sedition refers to actions, speech, or writings that are intended to incite rebellion against or undermine the authority of a government. It involves encouraging people to resist lawful authority or overthrow the government, but it does require actual acts of violence, or it does not require actual acts of violence. Even words or publications that stir up discontent can be considered seditious in some legal systems. In short, sedition is promoting disobedience or rebellion against the government. So, okay, that's fine. I mean, I could be charged with that by posting some shit on the fucking web, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I'm all of a sudden, after that definition, I'm all of a sudden worried about this room being recorded.
well, I'm just saying, man. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Does it mean that's their? Does that mean that it's their actual intent? I mean,
No, sir.
No,
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
yeah. So it's just something to think about. And a lot of these people, I believe, were pardoned, were they not? I mean,
They were. So you're saying it's sort of mob mentality which happens. Mob mentality runs wild.
no, it's the leftist media that has anything they can to try to. Well, majority of the media is leftist, and at least
didn't make any of those people storm the Capitol.
yes, but the leftist media fucking says that it's an insurrection. They act like these people
Are
have
your
guns.
actions based on any media are you responsible for your actions?
Yes.
Are those individuals who stormed the Capitol responsible for their actions?
Yes.
So then how can you say it's the left media that made them irresponsible?
That's
of their
not
actions?
that. I'm not saying that. You didn't let me finish. It's the leftist media that convinces you. Because you say, well,
I'm not
you ask
convinced.
why.
I just told you I'm not
ask
convinced.
why, but you kind of are. And, you know, you're earlier you were pretty much convinced that these people
I already said I was wrong.
What is wrong?
I was wrong.
Okay, that's all right. Well, but the leftist media convinces these people, paints a narrative like Samoa said that this, because it's not. I've heard so many times this officer was beat to death, but they act like he was shot. You know,
I thought he was squished.
Well, no, he wasn't.
He was squished between door panes, right? That's the only officer that lost his life.
Well, but he fucking had, heart issues. He has 2 strokes. You know, I mean, how can you blame it on that?
So I can beat the shit out of an old woman who's got heart disease and congestional heart failure, and I can say, shit, it was just her condition.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, have they proven that was why he died?
Was he gonna die of old age without being squished between those panes by rioters?
He could have. I mean, let's look at the
Jesus Christ. That's
look at the autopsy report. I mean, you've been wrong a few times on this.
Oh no, his blood pressure went up and he had blood pressure issues because he was being squished. Do you think if he went out to Chipotle at the same time the riot was happening, he would have died?
Well, it was spicy enough.
Wow, dude, you're reaching. I've actually come 100 yards to meet you where you are, and you just negated 5.
No, I think that it's possible. Obviously, I mean it's possible.
If someone snuck up around the corner and said boo to him, he would have died.
Let's look this up.
He got squished by rioters pushing through a doorway, right? Or he had pre-existing conditions of lungs.
Okay, so let's look this up. The officer you're likely referring to is Capitol Officer Brian Sicknick. He died on January 7, 2021, the day after the Capitol riot. Initially, there was confusion about the cause, with some reports saying he was struck by a fire extinguisher. However, the medical examiner later determined that he died of natural causes, specifically stroke-related injuries. The examiner also noted that all events of that day were a contributing factor, meaning the stress and physical exertion during the riot played a role in the death, even though he wasn't directly physically attacked in a fatal way. So, I mean, you might be able to say that. I mean, well, let's see. Was he squished?
It said he was being directly attacked with pepper spray.
Ever met someone with high blood pressure? You don't.
Hold on.
He later suffered 2 strokes and died the next night.
It says here, was he squashed? No, Officer Brian Sicknick was not squashed or fatally injured by rioters. Earlier rumors suggested he was hit anyway.
Yeah, he was hit with pepper spray.
Let's see, was he?
That's what I'm reading. Officer Brian, United States Capitol Police. Their statement. End of watch, January 7th. Violent mob had tried to prevent the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. He was assaulted by rioters, including being directly attacked with pepper spray. He later suffered 2 strokes and died the next night.
But they said that the medical examiner report made clear that this exposure did not directly cause his death. His official cause of death was stroke, acute brainstem, and cerebral infraction.
He suffered the strokes on January 6th.
What?
He suffered the strokes after the events of January 6th and died the next night.
Okay, but doesn't matter. You cannot blame that. You cannot blame that on that.
What? Okay, so let's say your mother gets assaulted while someone tries to steal their car, and they pepper spray her, and they rough her up, and she gets 2 strokes right after that, and she dies the next night. Are you literally going to say that her death had nothing to do with the carjackers? Are you going to say that?
I mean, I would try to sue myself if someone did that, but if she's got pre-existing conditions, how can you, how can you say that?
You can say that. If you have pre-existing conditions, then you are more sensitive to being pepper sprayed in your face.
Well, that's a good argument.
It doesn't mean that pre-existing conditions annul you from assault.
So a man doing his job, who definitely has already experienced pepper spraying in his training, because any police officer has to go through pepper spray training to even be certified to be a police officer. You're telling me a man doing his fucking job is going to contribute to him dying? with pre-existing conditions. I'm sorry.
When was he certified
that.
though? He could have been a 25-year-old veteran.
He looks young too. Like in his obituary picture, it's not
especially
like
when
he
you're
was
young.
He wasn't congested.
Listen, you have to be fucking pepper sprayed, and you have to be a shock.
Yeah, you got to do live fire drills. That doesn't mean that the next person that live fires against you is innocent.
So if a police officer, if it's a police officer, he's got a pre-existing condition.
I guess he had it coming.
No, and he goes and does his job. Say arrest somebody, and he dies or has a heart attack from it. Are you going to say it's because he did his job, or are you going to say it's his pre-existing condition?
Mountain, let me give you a couple of facts, because this truly is my wheelhouse. I can speak to California, only to California. When it comes to job-related injuries, law enforcement and firefighters, they have a presumption of work-related injury. It's in regards to a heart attack, high blood pressure, lung disease, and a couple of other factors as well. They don't have to suffer any specific event on a specific day, but by an accumulation of their work over 10, 20, sometimes 30 years, any of those conditions that they develop, the law says it's a presumption, not necessarily that their job caused it, but it absolutely contributed to it. And I can speak to a lot more other shit, but I just wanted to address that one.
Okay. Let's look this up. Was anybody charged in his death?
You see, the question you have to ask yourself in this case, and I know this is Capitol Police, you have to ask yourself, if he had not been there that day, would he still have suffered the stroke and died when he did? Chances are more likely that he would not have. But again, I don't know all the facts of that particular incident, but I do know.
Cater was convicted for 6 2/3 years.
But I do know that officer got injured during the riot, and he died the next day or 48 hours later.
Well, he wasn't injured.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Well, did he get pepper sprayed?
That's injury.
Yeah, but pepper spraying is, I guess, is that injury?
Pepper spray is injury. I'm assuming he got. Okay, I've been pepper sprayed before, a long time ago, and I know basically what it. There's a more common name for it, but when you go anywhere near pepper spray, you can't breathe. Your eyes burn. It's chemicals. They're not deadly chemicals, but you breathe it in. You can't breathe. Your eyes turn red water. You basically can't.
Is it a permanent injury or is it temporary?
I would say sometimes you have permanent effects.
That's very rare.
And sometimes you don't. You certainly are not permanently injured as when you first get sprayed.
Well, no question. Wouldn't you say a police officer is trained, has been in their training, they have been sprayed before by chemical irritant or even shocked by a taser in their training? Most officers, if not all of them, have to go through that, just because it's in the territory. So, I would think that he knows what to expect in that, and that this is only going to be a temporary injury. Nothing too serious, and if that's the case, then a bunch of people with pre-existing heart conditions,
yes,
would be dropping dead from getting pepper sprayed, and that's just not the case. It could be, like I say, yes. Obviously, getting pepper sprayed could possibly contribute to it through the stress of it, but that can, it could also that he had pre-existing conditions, which he did. And he just happened to die the next day.
Well, would you have that grace if it was one of your family members? If all of a sudden your mom got pepper sprayed, and then all of a sudden that stress let one of her blood clots actualize, and she dies the next day, are you going to say that the pepper spray had nothing to do with it?
That's different. You're talking about my mom here. We're not talking about a fucking police officer that.
Well, police officers are not supposed to be pepper sprayed by.
Police officers though have been pepper sprayed though in their
No, but
training.
they're not supposed to get pepper sprayed in their duty of service.
That's
just like your mom's not supposed to get pepper sprayed regularly.
But do they not spray you in training because of an eventuality, a potential?
They spray you in boot camp.
Because of why? Because they want you to know what to expect. Because it's not if, it's not
It doesn't matter.
It's when, you know what I mean? It's gonna happen.
This guy's an older guy, and your mom, let's say, him and her are standing on the same block at the same time. Let's just say. Let's just do this hypothetical.
What's this fucking, what is he, 60?
Let's just run this hypothetical. Do you think that if someone comes and peppers, that your mom is standing next to this police officer at the same time, and two people come and pepper spray them, and then the next day, your mom and this police officer die of complications, you're not going to connect it to the pepper spray at all?
I can give you another example. I think it's an appropriate example. Some of you might think it's not. But when the officer put his knee on George Floyd for 9 minutes and they had the trial, and of course you had two medical experts. The one on the prosecution said absolutely, knee on the neck, 9 minutes caused his death. The medical expert, the medical doctor for the other side said, oh no,